Ladies and gentlemen, please be upstanding to welcome the procession of the Deputy Lieutenant of Leicestershire, the Right Worshipful the Lord Mayor of Leicester Council, the Chairman of Leicestershire County Council, Ambassador Geert Henrik Arends, members of the Board of Governors and Academic Board, Pro-Chancellors, and the Vice-Chancellor of de Montfort University. Please remain standing for the national anthem, performed by the de Montfort University Chamber Choir Quartet.
God save our gracious Queen, long live our noble Queen. God save our Queen. Send her victorious, happy and glorious, long to reign over us. God save the Queen.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the Pro-Chancellor of de Montfort University, Professor David Wilson.
Deputy Lord Lieutenant of Leicestershire, Lord Mayor of Leicester, Chairman of Leicestershire County Council, honoured guests, members of the Board of Governors and the Academic Board, ladies and gentlemen, graduands, a very warm welcome to graduation here at de Montfort University this morning. Today we offer congratulations to graduands and diplomates from the Faculty of Business and Law as we confer on them their degrees and diplomas. To those graduating, enjoy this unique moment, The investment of your time, your mind and your heart in your future is something that will reward you for life. Your achievement today is something to be celebrated. It is real and sustaining. And however far you go, as an active and engaged global citizen, keep us in your thoughts. DMU for life means the experiences and the community that have helped you to make you who you are still here for you. They're here for life. So wherever you go, stay in touch. Share what you're thinking and where your ideas have taken you, and we will do the same. Thank you, and sincere congratulations to you all.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the Vice-Chancellor of Montfort University, Professor Dominic Shellard.
Pro-Chancellor, members of the Board of Governors, honoured guests and graduands, I am very proud indeed to be here today to be celebrating with you your graduation from Montfort University. And I want to start by posing a question. Should you do the easy thing or should you do the right thing? And to answer that, I want to tell you about DMU's links with a place over 4,000 miles away. In the 1960s, students from this institution gave their time to teach children who had just arrived in Leicester from India. They helped them to speak English, to settle into education, and to integrate into city life. And this tradition still flourishes today. Square Mile and DMU Local, initiatives that harness the volunteering power of our staff and our students, now work with Leicester communities across the city and far beyond. Our partnership with Leicester City Council is now one of the strongest and the most ambitious in the country. It spans the key areas of education, health and regeneration across 137 projects involving more than 4,000 students who have volunteered for 15,000 hours of work. Leicester is enriched by one of the largest Indian heritage populations beyond the subcontinent, many of whom study here and work at DMU, and of course, we're extremely proud of this. So 2 years ago, it seemed natural to extend and strengthen this connection through perhaps our most ambitious international project yet, DMU Square Mile India. Like the Square Mile project that we've created here in Leicester, the idea was simple. Take the energy, skills and experience we have on campus and the human and intellectual capital of our staff and our students, and use this to deliver positive change in the community. Only this community would be in Gujarat. Through Square Mile India, hundreds of staff and students have been able to directly support children of the lowest Indian caste, sometimes referred to unacceptably as the untouchables, living in a hostel on the site of the Gandhi Ashram in Ahmedabad. Currently, on average, at least one group of students flies out every month to work on the project via DMU's International Student Mobility Programme, DMU Global. Every year, however, heavy rains in the region force hundreds of people to leave their flooded accommodation. But now, working in collaboration with a local architect, DMU students have helped to develop designs to modify existing homes and to build new ones for 430 residents, of whom 40 are former leprosy sufferers. This work is making a significant difference to a lot of people, but almost as importantly, it's proving deeply rewarding for those who volunteer their skills. So today, I want to extend an invitation to you, our soon-to-be alumni, to be a continuing part of this extraordinary project as it expands into the future. So let me explain some more. So in 2013, I came to this building behind me, which is the Gandhi Ashram, which is where Mahatma Gandhi lived between 1918 and 1930. And I had the great honour of being awarded the Gandhi Seva Medal here in 2013 because of the Square Mile project, which DMU set up with our local community back in Leicester. And after I arrived here, I realised that there was so much that we could actually export to India. We could actually create a Square Mile India.
The Vice-Chancellor of DMU University happens to be here in Gandhi Ashram for a beautiful small event. And in a very organic way, he strolled around into the ashram, into where our kids were laughing and dancing and having a good time. And that caught him. That caught his attention, and he stopped and started having a dialogue with the kids and wanted to find out who these kids are. And then from there, the seed was planted in his heart to do something.
So since we founded Square Mile India, we've undertaken 28 different trips, and we've blended those into the DMU Global program, where we offer every student at DMU the opportunity to spend some time during their career at DMU overseas. We're installing solar panels in rural India. We built a very large number of washrooms, which is a crucial part of Prime Minister Modi's drive to improve sanitation. So our main partner in India is called Manav Sadhana. They're an educational charity who run 5 community centres here in Ahmedabad. And I progressively, over the last 2 or 3 years, visited all of those community centres apart from one. And the final one was called the Loving Community. And I never really understood until very recently why there was a reluctance for me to go and visit. And essentially it's because the Loving Community is focused on what used to be formerly known as a leper colony. And when I arrived there, it was quite clear that there was a very significant need for the community, which is around their living accommodation. So I came back and I spoke to our head of our School of Architecture, Simon Bradbury, and he immediately, within 2 weeks of me having this conversation, had got on a plane and gone out to the Loving Community to do an analysis of what we might be able to offer these people.
We're here at the Loving Community, where a number of the residents here have suffered from leprosy. And in addition to that, every monsoon season, there's a huge amount of water that inundates the village. And that water overflows the sewage system, contaminating that water and flooding the houses up to about a metre. So in the first instance, the immediate need is to raise some of the properties out of the flood water.
So basically what we're doing out here is we're helping a community that are former leprosy sufferers. They've got quite bad living conditions, so what we're doing is we're actually rebuilding a number of houses, basically giving them a better living condition.
This week we've been helping out in the community. We've been moving around bricks, doing all that work. We've been making some of the bricks as well as painting the park. I think it's mind-blowing how humbling it is to be part of the community and to contribute to the community.
I'm from India myself. I've been here before and I've never experienced something like this. The difference that you can have, like such small things that you think you're doing, has such a big impact on them.
So the word unique is somewhat overused nowadays, but Square Mile India truly is a unique initiative. Where else could you go to a university, study a discipline, be prepared for your employability by going overseas, putting into practice your values, your commitment to the public good, and actually making a difference to so many people's lives? You change their lives for the better, but your life forever. The easy thing or the right thing? This project is not easy. The environment is harsh, occasionally hostile, and during much of the year extremely hot. And Ahmedabad is one of the most polluted cities in the world. In addition, the Loving Community is dealing with one of the world's most stigmatized diseases, leprosy. Ancient taboos mean that entire families are deprived of job opportunities, of education, and of their future. This project highlights a number of DMU's strengths. Real-world, gold-standard teaching framing academic expertise and knowledge. Excellent, life-changing research that informs our curriculum. Our commitment to internationalization and a global perspective in all that we do, exemplified by DMU Global. Our determination to be a force for public good, whether that be on our doorstep or thousands of miles away. And Gandhi's principles of tolerance, of acceptance, and a refusal to accept discrimination in any form. A commitment now also anchored at the university through the work of the Stephen Lawrence Research Centre. A year ago, we held our first ever conference at the headquarters of the United Nations in New York, with a global network of universities who wanted to work together to share ideas and to collaborate to support refugees and migrants. For a long time now, DMU has engaged with Leicester's refugee community, offering IT classes, language skills, and career support. And it was because of our experience in this area that the UN invited us to engage in this work and use our social media expertise to amplify its impact. It was an amazing and unforgettable day. DMU was at the heart of the UN, at the centre of international diplomacy and global cooperation. Our students, as activist diplomats, were in the thick of the debate, advancing a cause that goes to the very heart of our work as a civic and a global university. And our relationship with the UN has continued to develop in a most positive way. Last summer, we led another event there with hundreds of our final year students, at which we committed to broaden our campaign to embrace all of the UN's 17 Sustainable Development Goals, known as the SDGs. Launched in January 2016, these goals are a blueprint for positive global change. They set clear targets to tackle poverty and hunger and promote sustainable growth, healthcare and education, amongst many other issues. Together, they represent a manifesto for the world and a roadmap towards a fairer and more sustainable planet. And incredibly, the UN has now named DMU as a global hub for SDG 16. And this commits our university to providing worldwide leadership for the promotion of peace, justice, and strong institutions. This month, a couple of weeks ago, we held the latest of our major summits at the UN, once again with hundreds of our students. These events continue to break new ground in size, in scope, and in ambition, and it was thrilling to see. On this occasion, we explored with our city mayor how universities can help to inspire and create SDG cities dedicated to real, lasting, and positive change in local and national communities. Once again, it was an event to which our students brought all the passion, the insight, the commitment, and the ideas that have become characteristic of our partnership with the UN. And only last week, DMU was granted association status with the United Nations Department of Public Information. In New York, we also relaunched our Love International campaign to show that at a time of global and national uncertainty and the time of Donald Trump, we at DMU are still the open, welcoming, and international university that we've always been. These values have always run deeply through our staff and our students, and they also endure in our graduates. In the face of such pressing challenges, however, here at home and overseas, taking action is never going to be easy. But who can doubt that it is the right thing to do? We've now also banned the use of non-recyclable plastic on campus in support of SDG 14, which looks to preserve life underwater. Few of us are now unaware of the appalling impact of society's unrestricted use of plastic, and it was feedback from many of you that made us determined to act. Alongside the ban, we've also issued to all of our students and staff a free reusable coffee cup. That's more than 26,000 of them. And this decision was just the start of a program of specific, far-reaching activities that will help us to meet, as an institution, the UN's goals. That's our vision for DMU, and a natural expression of our global outlook. But making change happen is about individuals standing up, taking part, and making a difference. And that's the DMU way, the power of the small action, the selfless action, and the right action. And many of you, our graduates, exemplify these qualities, and we take inspiration from all of you. We're very proud of the breadth of diversity at DMU, and you all know that this is one of the very best things about living and working here. So the Sunday Times had good reason to name us the inaugural University of the Year for Social Inclusion last September, and you mustn't underestimate your contribution to this tremendous award. In graduating today, each of you has demonstrated your own strength and determination to gain a university qualification. Be very, very proud of yourselves. This is a tremendous accomplishment. And I encourage all of you to continue your journey, and as you do so, to opt to do the right thing. You won't be alone. You'll have each other. You'll have your friends, and you'll have your family. And of course, you'll also have us. You're now each a vital addition to DMU's 175,000 strong, supportive, and influential global alumni network. We call this DMU for Life, a program designed to support you in your continuing relationship with the university, with a whole range of new benefits that we've decided to make available to all of our graduates. So as DMU alumni, through DMU for Life, you can still take part in DMU Global. You can engage with DMU Local, its volunteering, its activism, and the chance it provides to make a difference to others. You can continue to shape and direct your career and ambitions through DMU Works placements and employer opportunities. You continue to access our library educational materials and support. You can remain part of our sporting circles and members of the Leisure Centre, and you can easily keep in touch with everyone who has helped to shape your memories. As our alumni, you're also invited to our first ever university-wide homecoming celebration, which will take place over 3 days this April. And we look forward to welcoming you back and catching up on your news. The degree you've earned represents many years of planning, sacrifice, effort, and investment. And your investment in your future is a belief in the future, a belief in yourselves as citizens of the world, and a belief that you can be the change that you want to see every day, a belief that you can do the right thing. Not the easy thing, not the obvious thing, not the popular thing, not the safe thing, but the right thing. For you, for others, for our planet, and for life. Thank you very much indeed. Many, many congratulations.
Ladies and gentlemen, we will now introduce to you our distinguished guest, Ambassador Geert Hinrich Ahrens. The very distinguished guest we honour now is a peace builder. He is a dedicated diplomat and a scholar who has spent his long working life in sometimes life-threatening situations, bringing learning and lived experience to conflict resolution. Geert Hinrich Ahrens is a senior research associate at the University of Bonn and has served as a senior research fellow at the Woodrow Wilson Center in Washington, among other leading international roles. The center is a renowned international think tank dedicated to connecting research, study, discussion, and collaboration to bring about positive change in public life and affairs, very much a model for the work DMU strives to do. Ambassador Ahrens was born in Berlin and grew up amid the wreckage of the city in the dying days of the Second World War. Schooled in the law, he rose through the ranks of the German Foreign Service, with duties in both Yugoslavia and China, before becoming his country's ambassador to Vietnam, then Colombia. His work later included election monitoring missions in Albania, Azerbaijan, Belarus, Georgia, Montenegro, Turkey, and Ukraine, countries where democracy was being defended. Between 1992 and 1996, he was ambassador at large to the International Conference on the former Yugoslavia, where he led the working group on ethnic minorities. The bloody breakup of Yugoslavia was the result of a series of political upheavals and conflicts during the early 1990s, seismic shifts with shattering consequences. Their complex origins lie in the aftermath of the First and Second World Wars, in modern politics and ancient prejudices. Republics of the Socialist Federal Republic of Yugoslavia split apart. Deep unresolved issues caused bitter inter-ethnic Yugoslav wars. The fighting chiefly affected Bosnia and Herzegovina and neighbouring parts of Croatia, but threatened the international community. Ambassador Ahrens was well placed to enter the fray. He had travelled widely in the Balkans since the 1950s. He speaks 4 of the regional languages, including fluent Serbo-Croatian. His working group was the principal UN and European diplomatic effort tasked to grapple with horrifying ethnic conflicts. Later reflecting on its efforts in those complex and draining circumstances, Ambassador Ahrens has referred pointedly to Diplomacy on the Edge. It was the title of his definitive authored assessment of those tragic times. It is a dark, compelling account of territorial division, fragmentation, and ethnic cleansing, extermination by another name. It tells of states and their peoples struggling to create, reorder, and maintain their political institutions, their economies and societies, and of war crimes trials. It is right to remember, only a generation on, how quickly things can fall apart on an international scale and in the civilized world, where we choose to act reflexively and angrily and without thought or compassion. Negotiating consensus, then and there, amid such chaos and division, tested the cause of international diplomacy to its limits. But the alternative, not to talk, to retreat, and to turn the blind eye when the choice is hard, offers no way ahead. Diplomacy on the Edge is one of the core pieces of reading for all students on DMU's Yugoslavia and Beyond course. We strive to make education and life at DMU inherently an international experience. Our community represents 145 nations, and through our own large-scale international missions, DMU Global and Square Mile India in particular, we connect many thousands of our students with the world and its people to encourage them to make a positive difference by working together. Our work with the United Nations allows students a voice and agency in shaping the fairer, safer future they want and deserve. Already, that commitment has explored the refugee crises of the 21st century, so often tied to warfare. Our special responsibility for the UN's Sustainable Development Goal 16 requires us to take a lead on peace, justice, and strong institutions. In 2019, DMU Global plans to take students to Bosnia. We are honoured that Ambassador Ahrens has worked with us already, speaking at a conference organised by the DMU Jean Monnet Centre for European Governance, and to the students on the Yugoslavia and Beyond course. The best student writing on that course receives a prize given in his name. Ambassador Geert Hinrich Ahrens, for your outstanding career as both a diplomat and as a scholar, for committing your professional life to peace building and consensus, and for your dedication to democracy, equality, and equal representation, values we aspire to and advocate in every aspect of DMU life, work, and research. We are proud to honour you today. The Pro-Chancellor and Vice-Chancellor will now confer the award of Honorary Doctor of Education to Ambassador Geert Hinrich Ahrens.
Just remove your hat.
Ambassador Geert Hinrich Ahrens, I confer on you the degree of Honorary Doctor of Education. I congratulate you and welcome you among us.
Please welcome Honorary Doctor of Education, Ambassador Geert Hinrich Ahrens, who will now address the Assembly.
Honored guests and graduates, let me first congratulate the graduates on their success and thank the Conference Committee and the Board of Governors for the great honor bestowed on me. you, the graduates, begin your career. I am close to the end of it. So what can I offer you? I'm neither Talleyrand nor Mother Teresa. And the wisdom of old age has somewhat faded in the digital era, where IT literacy may be invertedly proportional to age. Well, I had ample opportunity to witness what humans can do to other humans. Living through World War II, hearing as young Vice-Consul in São Paulo witnesses during the Auschwitz trials, seeing the brutality of the Cultural Revolution in China, trying to help Vietnamese children maimed by mines or chemicals, being confronted with cruel and sometimes lethal kidnappings in Colombia, and finally dealing with the bloody end of Yugoslavia, a country I had loved for decades and where I have had friends for all of my life. An individual cannot do much about big crises. One can, however, try to understand what is going on and why. Try to act as a decent person and be helpful where possible. In Yugoslavia, in more than 1,000 hours of negotiations, mostly being Slavs and Albanians, my group could diffuse some dangerous situations. However, after Dayton, to my disappointment, complacent governments dissolved our existing negotiation structures and left the Albanian dimension unattended until it exploded into another war 3 years later. Let me close this short address on a more upbeat note. My life has been colorful and extremely interesting, and by no means all full of horror. Now, what to make of it all? Pablo Neruda gave his memoirs the title of Confieso que he vivido. I confess that I have lived. My high school physics teacher was more moderate, and he used to say, man is born, makes a fool of himself, and dies. For you, a choice. Thank you for your attention and many congratulations.
Ladies, gentlemen and graduands, we now show a film celebrating the ongoing contribution of the faculty to our students graduating today through DMU for Life.
For me, DMU was pivotal in not only my career but my life and learning key skills that helped me through life.
One thing I think that's really stood out for me is the support that you do get at DMU in terms of employability and helping me try to shape my future.
They help give you one-on-one interviews, and that definitely helped you formulate what you're going to talk about in actual interviews.
DMU's friendly fun, it's got a great network, the lecturers are brilliant.
What stood out for me the most whilst I was at uni was the lecturers, not just helping me throughout assignments, but career progression whilst looking for internships, support in writing a CV, cover letters, how to apply for jobs, how to sit interviews, and after that we're looking for a graduate programme.
One thing I think I've gained from the tutors at DMU, beyond the obvious education that you get through doing your courses, is actually just their advice, because they have been there and they have done it, and it kind of gives you that confidence to know that you can go and do it as well.
Whenever I doubted myself, my lecturers and the
team at DMU showed me that they believed in me more than I believed in myself.
The law school and DMU have got great links with local firms. It's not just Josiah Hinks, but all over the East Midlands.
Rolls-Royce sent me to Paris during my placement year, which was an absolutely amazing experience. I was able to meet suppliers and network on a global scale.
A couple of the course leaders from economics took us down to the Bank of England. We learned all about how the Bank of England works, what it does and what it's there for. It kind of gave me an aspiration, really. I want to be that person working on the financial district in London.
I was fortunate enough to visit Qatar, and it was really, really interesting, inspiring and eye-opening, and it's something that I never would have been able to afford to do had I not had the opportunity through DMU Global.
I am a trainee solicitor here at Josiah Hinks Solicitors. I managed to get the paralegal role by way of the DMU mentoring scheme. Without that work placement and without the mentor, I don't think I'd be in this position today.
I think I'd definitely like to give back to prospective students.
DMU for Life is a great opportunity for postgrads like me to stay engaged with the uni through things like DMU Global, career services and mentoring.
One of the ways that I stay in touch with the university is by going back and doing some guest lectures.
Gone back quite a few times to do a few presentations representing the business and De Montfort, helping other undergraduates understand the process of how an internship is important for your career.
Hi, I'm Isha and I'm from India. I'm here on a global trip to Hong Kong. It is making an effort for the students to network with each other, which will help them to boost their employability skills.
So my name is Vice-Chancellor. I work with a lot of venture capital firms. So when I look at where I'm now in New York is a very international place, and it was very similar in DMU in a way, because I met people from literally all over the world. Networking with other alumni is great because I can tell them the mistakes I made, and I can tell them not to make the same mistakes, and hopefully they'll listen to me.
I think it's really important for people to stay in touch. I think what DMU has taught me is the power of connections with people.
I'd recommend that graduates stay in touch with the Alumni Society. On a personal level, for me, it's allowed me to get back in contact with those that I'd lost contact with, and also the opportunity to meet new people.
I always keep an eye out on Facebook, Twitter, for what they're saying. Really nice to sort of have a sense of belonging with the Alumni Association.
You're graduating from a fantastic university. It's certainly something that I have found has enhanced my career.
Even though I've already got my job at Rolls-Royce lined up, it's great to know that DMU will always be here in 5 or 10 years if I need the support in the future.
Things like the alumni, things like DMU for Life, it means that these relationships, or the last 2 or 3 years that you graduates have got, they're just beginning, they're just starting.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the De Montfort University Gospel Choir.
You're broken down and tired of living life on a merry-go-round, and you can find the fighter. But I see it in you, so we can walk it out. Move mountains, we can walk it out. Move mountains, and I'll rise
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the Vice-Chancellor, Professor Dominic Shellard, for the conferment of the awards to graduates and diplomates from the Faculty of Business and Law.
Members of the Faculty of Business and Law, by the powers vested in me by the Board of Governors and the Academic Board, I confer on you the awards to which you are entitled. Please commence the presentation of graduates and diplomates to the Pro-Chancellor.
Business, Trishna Shah. The Certificate of Higher Education in International Marketing and Business, James Smith. The Diploma of Higher Education in Business and Management, Emmanuel Abuaji Mensa. The degree of Bachelor of Arts in Accounting and Business Management, Zabir Ahmed. Abdulaziz Hassan M.M. Al-Khalaf. Cameron Bazi. Alexander Raymond Garner. Mohammed Zain Ul Islam Sikandar Hassan. Azim Khan. In Accounting and Finance, Camerondeep Bajwa. Mukesh Bulgan. Akshay Dattani. Sandeep Singh Daliwal. Adoni Dikoba. Raymond Fashoro. Hannah Gemlechu. Kadar Golongo. Sean Cameron Hackett. Nakib Hussain. Syra Hussain. Guraja Jahal. Etisham Alam Khan. Emmanuel Koranchi. Stuart McWhinney. Jessica Rai. Zakaria Salim. Ahmed Suleiman. Anisha Tulsidas. Akshay Vaifa. Mahesh Vara. In Advertising and Marketing Communications, Dominic Kavanagh Blake. Alice Victoria Kubi. Courtney Siobhan O'Hara. Lydia Smith. Francesca Weems. In Business Administration, Babydats Mangu Dadatu. In Business Administration and Management, Wing Hai Angela Lam. Kwan Yi Amy Lung. Mai Ting So. In Business and Globalization, Gregory Ilukwe. In Business and Management, Mayoran Baba. Hamza Bahadur. Jordan Alphaeus Benjamin Baisden. Saeed Faz Bukhari. Prince Singh Daliwal. Samuel Gillespie. Chandler Idos. Jeanette Khan. Rukeya Nassor. Erica Serabor. Priya Surti. Luis Ramando Tolentino. Jamel Walfall. In Business and Marketing, Rami Mane. In Business Entrepreneurship and Innovation, Michael Awinbill. Yaya Bariwala. Tiain Gowdy. Mahir Majid. In Business Management and Economics, Zara Ibrahim. Ashmi Nakrani. In Business Management and Human Resource Management, Sandra Esioi Oiku. Michael Olubori. In Economics, Nadia Abubakar. Manohar Singh Pal. In Human Resource Management, Justin Olusegun. Stanislava Zaharanska. In International Business, Manisha Binning. In International Marketing and Business, Amar Tanner. In International Relations, Washington, Tapiwa, Zvikom Barrero, Neville Chifamba. Zaki Dambera. Talha Junaid. In International Relations and Politics, Liban Ali. In Management, Mark Bamba. Abdulhamid Ibrahim. Darren Leggett. Emma Martin. Steve Meachin. Magdalena Olszewska-Wilk. Matthew Quenby. Kali Sudat. Abigail Usher. Daniel Yaya. In Marketing Management, Jadisola Olubemi. The degree of Bachelor of Science in Business Studies, Ayubami Joy Akinyemi. Lewis Kime. In Economics and Finance, Leon Thaddeus Green. In Finance, Tanzil Akhtar. The Postgraduate Certificate in Housing Studies, Luc Junot-Baptiste. The degree of Master of Science in Advertising and Public Relations Management, Hamdalat Abdul Salam. Winner of the prize for the Best Student Performance, Beth Lynn Astle. Zufai Guao. Jake Johnson. Tanialat Niamsawan. Chelsea Oliver. Georgina Passmore. Maitri Yogesh Shah. In Housing Studies, Helen Collins. Maria Runnigan. In Project Management, Isabella Agbotsi. Mohamed Alanazi. Mohamed Al-Majed. T.M. Shams Arif. Hao Li. William Matley. Alexander Melrose. Zhou Jiang. In Risk Management, Daniel Caruso. Tinashe Chikuza. Tasimba Masama. Marita Matenga. Musa Adebayo Obalola. Oliver Power. Mark Andrew Santos. In Strategic and Digital Marketing, William Chamberlain. Athiwat Chen. Winner of the prize for the Best Student Performance, Sonia Ganatra. Fatima Kamrudin. Bradley Atherton St Clair Marshall Cumberbatch. Itunu Paramalam. Madeleine Sansom. Wazawat Skowachara Yotin. Ryan Taylor. In Project Management, Lan Juan Q. The degree of Bachelor of Arts in Accounting and Business Management, Issa Ahmed. In Business and Management, Jaden Grant. Samad Ali. The degree of Master of Science in Advertising and Public Relations Management, Christian Oyin Aligasim. This concludes the presentation of graduates and diplomates of the Faculty of Business and Law.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the Vice-Chancellor of Montfort University, Professor Dominic Shellard.
Honoured guests, members of the Board of Governors, members of the Academic Board, ladies and gentlemen, and most importantly, graduates. I'll say that again, graduates. My last formal duty is to bring this ceremony to a close, but I just want to say to you all, remember, nothing actually ends today. Today is about the future. So I want you to leave this stage in this hall with every confidence, because the future really does belong to you. I'm so proud of each and every one of you. We shall be following your progress closely. Please remain in contact with us and have just a wonderful celebration. Many, many congratulations. Thank you.